guys, I'm going to show you how to play Margaritaville by the late, great Jimmy Buffett. We're going to get into kind of different layers of like real basic, easy beginner way, and then I'm going to give you little treats along the way of like, well, you can try it this way if you want to kind of increase and upgrade a little bit of what you're doing. Let's dive in. Okay, so I'm going to save that little intro riff for the very, very end, so just make sure you stay tuned. We're going to get really the chords. Okay, so here is the intro, just the chords. So let me first talk a little bit about the rhythm, and this will be the rhythm for most of the song essentially. You can kind of use this down, down, up, down, up for every measure, okay? However, especially in the verses, when there's a couple of D's in a row and A's in a row, you can actually fall into this groove of down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up, okay? So that right there is two measures. That right there is what you're going to hear a lot of in kind of the overall swing and vibe, okay? So it's up to you for the rhythm. Again, here's the intro. It's just D major to G major, A major, to D twice. Right, you saw that I kind of mixed it up with that more complex rhythm, and that is the intro. Again, down, down, up, down, up works for every measure though, if you want to fall back on that. Okay, so intro is done. Let's go ahead and get into the verses. Every verse is going to be D major for 6 measures, A major for 8 measures, D for 2 measures, okay, for a grand total of 16. Now, you can add a little something at the end. We'll talk about that. Let me go ahead and play the verse kind of the way you're actually going to hear it, and that is on the end with a D7, and I'll talk a little bit about the nuances and your options there. So here's the verse. So essentially you've got that down, down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And that covers 2 measures, okay? So that's kind of what you're hearing. And on the very, very end, what you saw me do is jump to this D7. So you're really kind of hearing this. The very last 2 measures is D, right? Which is down, down, up, down, up, down, up. And I'll kind of build the tension with the D7, which by the way is the 2nd fret G, 1st fret B, 2nd fret high E. And you're going to see a lot of that in this song. It just kind of builds tension to the next chord, which is the G here, okay? So essentially what you want to do is you want to save it for the very end. But if you're like, yo, that's too much, I don't know what's going on, I just wanted to play some easy stuff with 3 chords. If you just want to do that, all good, D, A, and G all day, you can just do this. Right, now you saw me kind of getting a little bit busier with my rhythm there towards the end, but staying on D is totally, totally fine. Okay, now I'm going to add one extra little nuance on the end of that verse that you can do, and that you will hear throughout the entire song. And that is these little susses, the sus4 aspect. So you might hear this. I'm going to play the verse again, just a little different. Okay, I'm just going to give you some ideas. See it? See that? Now I'm playing it a little bit more like I would play it if I was playing a show. So you saw me kind of really getting louder and quieter for dynamics. That's something to work on. but also you saw me really bringing in that pinky here on the 3rd fret high E, the high E string, my 4th finger. And that doesn't have to be in a specific place, but just bring it in a little bit. Same thing with the A major. Play that B string 3rd fret. And if you play your A's like this, totally cool. Or whatever you want to do, right? Just add that note for some color. You're going to hear that throughout the entire track, all the parts, in fact. Okay, and so the very ending, how I would play it is, that's down, down, up, up, right? So I'm doing a D and just splashing that. And that very end, up, down, up, and 3 and 4 and. It really adds a lot of build up to your chorus. Let's go and get to the chorus. The chorus is this. I'm going to play the entire thing kind of the way that I would play it. So the chorus, again, all D7s can just be down resolved to a D. All crazy rhythm stuff can just simply be reduced down to down, down, up, down, up. Everything beyond that is just a little treat. So here would be the easy way to play that first few measures. Right? But the way that I'm doing is I'm going. The exact same thing I just did for the end of the verse. So if you did that, you've done the homework there, this is going to be easy. So you'll do what I just did right there twice in a row. On that next line, you're going to see this. That's G to A for one measure each, and then a D, A, and then G. Okay, so you're kind of coming back home one strum each. Okay? And that final measure is just going to be, but I know. A, twice. D twice. And that's your main chorus. Okay? Now the end chorus is going to be a little extra special. Stick around for that. Before we get to the end chorus, I do want to hit you with what's happening underneath the solo. If you're playing the chords underneath the solo in a group and or a band, this is what you'll do. Let's break that down. I just did 6 measures of D. I did 2 measures of A. And then I went to a measure of G. A measure of A. There we go again. A little callback to the chorus. D, A, G. Same thing we did for that chorus. A twice. And D twice. And again, that's all underneath the solo. Okay, so it's kind of this interesting little twist on what you thought was the verse. It's almost like the verse and the chorus kind of like got married and came together. It's a hybrid of those two things. All right, and that's what you'll play underneath the solo. Let's go ahead and get into that final chorus, and this is where things can get a little bit tricky. So the final chorus is literally just the chorus. Okay, everything's the same, but then he comes back around at the very end. And he does this. Okay, so again, I did the entire chorus just like we learned it. We just added that little section. So it's G for one measure, A for one measure, D once, A once, and G once. And then A twice. And then this is where essentially it's kind of just like this neat little, it's basically what we almost did on the intro section, but it's going to be the outro. So it's D once, G once, A once, and then D, A, D. And that's your outro. As promised, here is that little hook, that riff, that groove. So what I'm doing is I'm playing the 5th fret of the high E, and I'm playing the 7th fret of the B. 1, 2, 3, bringing that a whole step down. So that is going to be 3rd fret high E, 5th fret B, and then back. And then do it again, and then bring it up. Play the, this time I'm playing with my middle finger on the high E string 7th fret. 3rd finger plays the B string 8th fret. 1, 2, 3. So 1, 2, 3, back here where we started. One time. Down here again, a whole step. And then ending on a D. One more time. And all that is in my Patreon. Thanks so much for tuning in, you guys. Please like, subscribe, share with a friend who wants to play this song and have fun. And I'll see you in the next video.